All right, everyone, welcome to my floors. So you're probably noticing today's video is a little bit different. That's because, well, you probably already saw the thumbnail and the title of this video, but we're going to be reorganizing my makeup collection. I'm so excited because I live in a really small apartment and I don't really have a lot of space for makeup. So I got this. Because I saw May Pang on Instagram. If you don't follow her, you probably already follow her because she's freaking amazing. But I saw her using this for her makeup and I feel like this would be perfect because you have different layers to this cart. So you can really optimize makeup on it. And I'm going to show you my current makeup system and it's definitely not the best. So this is my setup. Everything is on this table, which let me show you. It's clearly not the best. And I also have this suitcase right here in which I have all the rest of my makeup. So first thing we have is this little thing right here. So I have lipsticks. I also have my lip liners, my glosses. I have some brow products. God damn it, here goes my MAC Pro Longer paint pot. So yeah, I also have my MAC Pro Longer paint pot. And then I also have my little thing with all my brushes. And in this thing right here, I have all the palettes that I reach for regularly in my YouTube videos. And when you open this thing, I have my Kaleidos highlights. Usually this whole section is dedicated to Rare Beauty. And yeah, there's also a couple of different things. So this is kind of a makeup drawer overload because it's not really well organized. So yeah, now you know why I want to reorganize my makeup. So today's video will be super laid back. We're just going to sit down, have a chat, have some fun. So let's get started. So I think that the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to assemble this really quickly because I did not assemble it. Oh god, oh no, I dropped some of my palettes, but everything is fine. Oh my god, I freaking dropped my Natasha Denona palette. Okay, so I'm first going to show you, this angle is really bad, I'm really sorry. But yeah, so I'm just going to start by showing you what's in this bag really quickly. You have these little pouches which are really practical because you can stick them on and you can put anything you want in them. At the top right here, I have some palettes that I don't really reach for that often. And I also have a bag full of samples because I was planning on doing a full face of samples, but I don't have enough to do a full face. So this video is waiting. And when you look into the suitcase, you also have little drawers. For example, here I have all of my false eyelashes. I also have all of my individual eyeshadows. I have other lip products. I also have primers, powders. I have bronzers, foundations, concealers, other glittery primer stuff. And here I have highlights. And then of course I have all of my palettes. Okay, so the situation I have in front of me is very intense. I'm just going to film with my camera, like the situation I have in front of me right now. But yeah, this is what I have to work with right now. I'm kind of overwhelmed, but I think I'm going to start with the lip products. If the Kaleidos lipsticks, yeah, they fit perfectly into this container. So I think I'm going to put all my Kaleidos lipsticks in here. And I kind of feel like doing the same, but with my other lipsticks. So I do have some Floracis lipsticks, which are really nice because they're very hydrating and very comfortable. And I also have some classics. These are some MAC lipsticks. And my favorite shade is the shade Bronx, which is the most beautiful brown cool tone shade ever. Of course, I also have the Rare Beauty Dewy Lip Balms, which are also very nice. They're super hydrating. I also have some Illamasqua Ultra Matte lipsticks, which I don't know why I don't reach for these that often, but they're really, really nice. They're very velvety. Their texture is very, very comfortable. I have a Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick. I love the Kosas lipstick in the shade Rose Water. This lipstick is like the best peachy pink shade ever. This lipstick is my holy grail. This lipstick is the best lipstick I ever tried. I don't want this to finish, but this is probably very expired and it's like very empty. But this is the H&M lipstick in the shade I'm in Shock, and I use this every single day. I bought this actually in Amsterdam, so I don't think that they sell this in Canada. But this lipstick, if you ever have the opportunity to try H&M makeup, it's really good. I'm also going to be putting the Yves Rocher matte lipstick in the shade 150. This lipstick is the best classic red lipstick ever, and the texture is very comfortable, and this is also very long lasting. But yeah, this is so freaking satisfying. Do you see this? Do you see how perfectly this fits? So I'm going to be placing that at the top for the time being. I'm not sure if I'm going to let it like that. Next, I think in this one I'm going to be placing some glosses. So I do have some Colourpop glosses. This is the Raw Beauty Christie collection. I don't really reach for these that often, but they're really nice. The only thing is with the Colourpop Luxe glosses, they're very tacky, very thick. So I don't reach for these that often, but they're really nice. The Fenty lip glosses are really good. They're very lightweight and the pigmentation is there enough so that there's a little bit of color on the lips. The cream ones, they're very pigmented. I also have the Morphe gloss. This is in the shade Freebird and it's the most beautiful brown shade. I should use this more often. This formula is also super hydrating and very shiny. Of course, the House Laboratories gloss in the shade Venus is also one of my favorites. And this product is the first product I ever splurged on. I bought this and it was around like 50 or 60 Canadian dollars. This was so expensive. It's the Yves Saint Laurent Tatouage Couture Matte Stain. Oh yeah, this is definitely very expired. I'm really sad. It's like not the same texture anymore. The Colourpop lipstick also really nice. The Too Faced Melted Chocolate Liquefied Longwear Lipstick also really nice. This is the most beautiful brown shade ever. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put that right next to it. In this one, I think I'm going to place all of my pencils. I have a couple of eyeliners. So for example, I have my Rare Beauty liquid eyeliner that I do reach for very often. Whenever you have a felt tip liner, a recommendation would be for you to place your felt tip liner with the tip facing downwards so that the tip does not dry out. So I'm going to be placing my eyeliner like so. I also have this right here. This is the Milk Makeup Tattoo Stamp and it has a star stamp. You stamp it on and it leaves a little star, and I don't know why I did that because that freaking stains. I'm probably going to have that star on my hand for like the next few days. Oh, I forgot I had this. This is the My Beauty brand and By Me liquid eyeliner, and this eyeliner is actually quite nice. It's very precise. I have a couple of eyeliners, so I have some Colourpop ones, I have NYX ones, and I think I'm also just going to be putting my lip liners with my eyeliners because I don't have enough eyeliners to fill this container, and might as well put my brow pencils in here as well. For my eyebrow products, I have 3 of my Yves Rocher pencils. If you haven't tried the Yves Rocher brow pencils, they're really good and they're really cheap. Next, I think I'm going to place all of my highlighters in this container right here. So I'm going to place all of my Kaleidos highlights in here. I'm also going to place my Norns Oden's Eye highlights, my Makeup by Mario highlight in the shade Expensive, and this stuff is really expensive. It's like expensive Vaseline, but the effect that it gives is really nice. I have this is probably very expired. This is also one of the first highlights I ever bought. This is the Becca highlight in the shade Champagne Pop. Jaclyn Hill, girl, you know how to do highlights. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is still good, but I'm going to keep it. I also have the Yves Rocher highlight, this highlight. Beautiful. It does not have any glitters. It gives such a nice shiny dewy look to the skin. I also bought the Mary Luminizer highlight just because there was so much hype around this highlight, and as you can see, like, I barely dived into this product. It's like too dark for my skin tone. It's a little bit too golden, but the texture is kind of nice. It did make my skin look textured. I also have this one which exploded all over my container. This is the Beauty Bakery Illuminator in the shade Iced, and this stuff is so not practical because it goes freaking everywhere because the container is kind of cardboard, so it just flies all over the place. And might as well, I do have a couple of highlights in here that I think I want to place in that container. This is my everyday makeup bag. Whenever I try something in my videos and I start to love it, I usually put it in my pouch right here, but I feel like it's a little bit overloaded right now, as you can see. So I'm going to try and remove some of the products that are in here. This is really, really nice. This is the NARS highlighter in the shade Capri. I feel like you're probably noticing a pattern here. I love highlights whenever they're really just shiny, not glittery, but that they give a really dewy look to the skin, and this definitely does it. I think I'm just going to place that in here with the rest, and then it might find its way back into my everyday pouch. This, beautiful, cheap, amazing. If you've not tried this yet, this is the Essence Pure Nude Highlight. Stop what you're doing, go to the pharmacy and buy this, because this, you're not going to regret it. It gives the most beautiful shine to the skin. It looks like not really interesting in the pan, and you can like use this heavily on the cheeks to give a really nice glow, but you can also take this with like a bigger, fluffier like brush powder and place that all over the face, and it's going to give the most natural, dewy, shiny look from within, healthy look. Everyone should try this. This stuff is expensive, but amazing. This is the Hourglass Vanish Illuminizer in the shade Gold Flash. This is going back into my pouch because I need to use this more often. This actually might be one of my favorite highlights, but I never use it. I don't know why. I don't want to finish it. Again, it gives a really nice shiny effect to the skin. Very natural. You can apply this on top of powder, on top of creams. I think I have a problem. All my Rare Beauty makeup just keeps disappearing. But like, I used to have so much more of these. Oh, here it is. These are also one of the products that I'm going to tell you. You have to try this. This is the Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizer. These are black magic. You can apply this on your lid, on your body, on your face, on top of powder, on top of creams. You can apply this freaking any way you want it, and it's going to look freaking beautiful. It does not budge during the day. It stays on the face. It does not move. It does not like wear out. They're really good. And my favorite shade is Enlighten, but I do also really like the shade Enchant. The shade Mesmerize is a little bit too dark for me, but both of these are really good. So I think that that's pretty much all of my highlights. I think I'm going to be placing all of my bronzers and blushes. For my blushes, I have the Merit Balm blush. Again, this is really, really nice. The cream Fenty blushes in the shade Fuego Flush. This for summer, beautiful. It gives a really nice shine. The Milk Makeup multi-use stick in the shade Rally, a really nice purpley pink shade. I also have some Rare Beauty liquid blushes. My favorite shade is probably the shade Hope. It's the most beautiful pink mauve shade. These are very, very forgiving. I also have the palettes from House Labs. This is the Head Rush Blush and Highlight Duo. And I also have the Heat Spell Bronzer and Highlight Duo. The Hoola Bronzer, a classic. The Butter Bronzer, also a classic. I used to use this every single day of my life. This is a really nice beginner-friendly bronzer. This is exploded, but it's really nice. This is the Burt's Bees Blush with Bamboo in the shade Bare Peach. I have these are the Charisma Contour Palette. I'm not really the type of person to contour that much. This is from Kaleidos, so I don't really reach for these that often, but I do keep them because it's always handy to have more cool tone bronzer shades. Why did I stop using this? This is the Artist Color Cocoa Bling Diamond Glow Palette. If you want to shine and someone from space sees you, you want to wear this because this is so freaking intense. You do not need a lot of this. This is the most intense highlight I've ever tried. This is also one of my favorites. This is the Tower 28 Illuminating Bronzer in the shade West Coast. And this, I usually use this with a beauty blender and I just bounce that all over the perimeter of my face. If you want to look very dewy, use this in combination with a liquid highlighter and you're going to look freaking like a goddess, a glowing goddess. I also have my Marc Jacobs highlighter, but this is going to go in the bronzer category because this highlighter is too dark for me as a highlight. So I like to use this as a bronzer topper and it's beautiful. I really wish I could use this as a highlight because the shine on this is really, really nice. Very, very natural. It's very golden. So this one right here is definitely staying in my everyday pouch because it's beautiful. This is the Hourglass Lighting Edit Mini Ambient palette, and you have a highlight, you have one of their illuminating powder, you have a blush and the bronzer. I'm almost out of the bronzer, and the one I bought before that is this one. This is the Hourglass Ghost Edit palette, and I hit pan on almost all of these except the two blushes. So I think I'm going to put that in with my blushes. And I do think that this is my last bronzer product. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Stick in the shade Fawn. I used to use this all the time whenever I used to contour. So you can apply this in the hollows of the cheeks. It's a really cool tone shade, so it's going to give a really nice sunken in, defined look to the face. No, I lied. This is actually my last bronzer products. So these are the new Rare Beauty bronzer sticks, and these have, like, I tried them only twice and they've become one of my favorites. They're so forgiving, they're very easy to apply, very beginner friendly and very natural. I think I'm going to take it back. I think I'm going to take all my pencils and I'm going to place them back into this little container right here so that they're well divided. And because I just realized that I have a lot more lip products that I need to use this container. And instead I'm just going to place all of my lip products in here because I still have all of these. So I have some BH Cosmetics glosses, which are really nice. I also have this, which is actually quite nice. This is the My Beauty brand and Nikki the Roost color changing lip oil. So you put this on the lips, it's totally clear, but when you apply this on the lips with the heat from your skin, it's going to turn pink. I also have some vanilla birthday cake lip gloss, which tastes amazing. I don't recommend you to eat this, but it tastes really good. I do have other lipsticks, L'Oreal, Essence, Bite lipsticks, and I think that in this container right here, I'm going to be placing all of my primers and any product that are a little bit more specific, so probably my foundations, my concealers, my primers. So I do have both of the Rare Beauty primers, which are really good. I'm not going to talk about them too much because I talk about them in all of my videos, but I have the pore filling one and the illuminating one. I also tried in a recent video the Cool Concealer and Foundation, and I've been really liking them, so I'm going to place that here. I also have the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Longwear Foundation in the shade 100. This foundation was too light for me for summer, but I feel like I should probably reuse it because it might be my shade right now, and the texture is very, very nice. If you have oily skin, you might not like this because it's very dewy, very hydrating, but my skin is very dry, so I do enjoy this one. I also have this. This is the Tarte Creaseless Concealer. I'm not sure why they call this creaseless because this is the most creasy concealer I ever tried, but I really love it because it gives such a nice shine to the skin and the coverage is insane. I also have my MAC Pro Longwear concealer that I do like to use whenever I want more coverage. This concealer is heavy duty. I should probably try this again. I'm not a huge fan of Il Maquillage foundations. My sister, she's obsessed with this stuff. So I think I'm going to have to give this another try. So I have a couple of their foundations and I also have their no filter poreless primers. I'm also going to put my Milk Makeup Stick Foundation in the shade Shell. I love it. Same with my CoverGirl Clean Fresh Foundation. This is a really nice foundation if your skin is dry, if you're not too oily. It has a nice dewy finish and it's really natural looking. Of course, I would put my Rare Beauty foundation, but this is going in my everyday pouch. Same them with my Rare Beauty concealers, same as my Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. It's a really nice, lightweight, very pigmented concealer. I'm going to place my Illamasqua Hydra setting spray with the rest of the products right here. I don't really use setting spray on a regular basis. I'm not sure why. I should probably place this in my pouch actually. I'm going to use this more often. This I definitely want to use more often. This is the Illamasqua Hydra Veil Primer. This is beautiful. I don't know why I don't reach for this more often because it's the most beautiful hydrating primer and it allows foundation and all the makeup to glide nicely on the skin. So this is going in here. This burnt my skin, but I want to give this a try again because it gave a really nice look to the skin. It really made my skin look fresh. This is the Kuro Brightening Facial Mist. I'm going to take these products and place them with my highlights, but this is the Sol Glow Oil, and this I really want to use for summer on the body to give a really nice shiny look. I'm going to place that here. I also have the Morphe 2 Face and Eye Gloss. It's a really nice affordable alternative to like the Makeup by Mario cream gloss highlight. And in my Complexion bin, I'm going to be placing all the POREfessional products. So I have the hydrating one, the pore filling one, and the light one. My favorite would be the light one because it's much more lightweight and I feel like it's not as drying. And of course, I'm not going to forget about the Touch and Soul Glassy Balm. If you want to have a dewy look to the skin, if you want to have editorial glass skin, do not look further. This is your best product to create that. This is freaking glass. It's amazing. So I'm going to place that here. So those are all the Complexion products. I have so much makeup. Oh my god. I'm going to put that aside for the time being. I don't know where to place them. I have one last big bin. I don't know what I'm going to be placing in here. Ooh, I could actually put all of my like individual eye products that I don't really use that often. There's a couple of like different products in here. So for example, I have all of the Kuro individual shadows. This is nasty. I'm really scared to open this. So this was so expensive. This is the Norvina Electric Cake Liners. Remind me to never put water in a makeup product ever again. Like these, they just feel wrong because they never dry. They're always like watery and there's kind of like water all over the perimeter of this product. I'm thinking about throwing this away, but my heart, it hurts so much because I spent so much money on this and I had very high hopes, but this is just freaking nasty. So this is going in my I don't know what to do with you bin. I have the Huda Beauty Matte and Metal Melted Eyeshadow. I'm not a fan of these because they're really thick and when they dry, they make my lid look so wrinkly. But I'm going to leave it in. I want to retry them. This is probably expired. This is the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. This is good stuff. If you want your eyeshadow to last a long time, this is really, really good. I also have some Yves Rocher shadows and these are the shadows that I don't like. The matte eyeshadows from Yves Rocher are not the best. Their shimmers are really nice, but their mattes are not really nice. Whoa, oh my god. These are the old Yves Rocher eyeshadows. This is in the shade Orange Flash Matte. And this is like the old packaging. This is probably expired. Okay, so actually there's not a lot of like individual eyeshadows to fill this box. So I think I'm just going to place this in this container that I have extra. Okay, so now for the fun part, I'm going to go through all of my eyeshadow palettes. So first I have my Rare Beauty Discovery palette. This is going in my everyday pouch. I have my Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette, the Mega Mothership palette. This is going right here. The Hela palette is going in my everyday pouch because this is the most beautiful palette ever. Can we just talk about these colors? Do you see these? Ooh, forgot about these. These are the Soul Man highlights. I feel like I'm going to be placing the like highlights palette right here near my highlights. And thinking about it, I do have a couple of like face palettes. So for example, right here I have the BFF Snatched Face palettes. So you have highlights, you have blushes, and you have bronzers. So I'm going to place that right here. I also have a BH Cosmetics highlights palette. Look at these highlights. These highlights are so interesting. They have so many colors and they're really, really nice. Very affordable, and the shine is beautiful. I think I'm going to place like the more awkward narrow palette in this container. So that includes all of my Kaleidos palettes. We have all of the Odin's Eye palettes. We also have the palettes from Poppy Cosmetics. I'm definitely going to keep all of my Odin's Eye palettes at the top. Same with my Pure and Raw Beauty Christie palette. This palette is really good. It's so sad that it was a limited edition because you have a colorful side and then you have your neutrals. I'm also going to keep my NYX SFX cream colors at the top because these are really practical if you want to do editorial liner. Ooh, this is the Alva 2 highlight palette. So I'm going to place that with the rest of the highlight palettes. Of course, we also have the Fairy Blush palette from It's Likely Makeup. This coral shade is the best coral shade ever. So forgiving, so nice. Like this palette, I love so much. What else do I have? Okay, this one is also going in the front. This is the Morphe 24A palette. And I depotted that palette and I kept the very bright eyeshadows in a magnetic palette. And I do reach for this very often. I want to use this more often. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills and Jackie Aina palette, and this palette is beautiful. This shade, I'm almost hitting pan. This is the shade Trust Issues, and I think I'm even going to take that and place that in my everyday pouch because I want to use this again because I used to use this every single day. My Jaclyn Hill palette volume 2 palette is also going to go at the very top because the volume 2 palette is just perfect because you have very colorful eyeshadows, you also have neutrals, and you have a black and a white. So yeah, very, very practical palette. I do really like Kaleidos eyeshadows. I mostly use their shimmers. I'm not a huge fan of their mattes. So yeah, I think I'm going to place that right here in front. Can please someone tell me if they've ever seen this palette? This palette is probably 20 years old. I'm not even joking. This used to belong to my sister and I stole it from her and I've never thrown it away. This is definitely going in the I don't know what to do with you bin, but I'm probably going to keep it. I'm also going to put the Raw Beauty Christie and Colourpop palette in the front here, in the top. Now I have all of these palettes. So I have the Naughty BH Cosmetics palettes that I don't really reach for that often. So I think I'm just going to do a little section at the bottom of palettes that I don't really reach for that often. I have this, which is a chaos and a failed project. I filmed a video depotting my palettes, thinking that I would save space and time and effort, but I just exploded a bunch of my eyeshadows and I just never reach for these shadows. So in here you have the Morphe 24A palette, or what's left of it. You also have, I don't even remember what these are. This is so sad. What is this? Oh, I think this is the, yeah, this is the Violet Voss Volume 1 palette. Here it is. This is very sadly going in the very bottom. I'm so sorry. And then this is also a freaking tragedy. I put my Jaclyn Hill palette volume 1 in a Morphe magnetic palette because I thought I would save space by removing it from its container, but it did not work. I wasn't even able to place any other shadows in here, and I'm very, very pissed at myself for doing this. So yeah, this is also going right here at the bottom. I'm going to also put the Huda Mercury Retrograde palette at the bottom because I don't really reach for it that often. The colors are really nice, but like Actually, I think I'm going to place it at the top because the colors are nice and I want to use it more often. I also have this. This is the Colourpop palette and I created it on the website. There is a bunch of matte, a bunch of shimmers. I think I'm going to put it at the top. I want to use it more often too. The Now United palette is also going at the bottom. All of the Yves Rocher palettes are also going to go at the bottom because I like them, but not enough for me to put them at the top. This is the Zoeva Caramel Mélange palette, and this palette is actually really nice. If you're looking for something for like everyday neutral shades, this palette is very nice, very easy to work with. Same with my NYX Ultimate Shadow palette. This is the Rainbow palette. I don't really like the formula on NYX eyeshadows because they're a little bit patchy. But yeah, this is going at the bottom and they're not super pigmented. Shade and Light going at the bottom. Not even sure if this is good anymore. This is probably expired. And we also have the Violet Voss Essentials 2, which is actually quite nice, but I don't reach for it that often. So again, going at the bottom. We have the Kat Von D Alchemist highlight palette, but these highlights are not like bang intense in your face. They're more of like a colorful, shiny type of thing. They're really nice. I bought this because it was on sale. Oh god, I forgot I had the powders. Where am I going to be putting my powders? I don't think my makeup is going to fit. Okay, so I'm just placing my powders because I was forgetting that I had powders. So I have the Milk translucent powder, the Rare Beauty powder, and I also have the Florasis powder. And I'm going to place them right here with my other Complexion bronzer and everything products. I'm also going to place my 24-hour brow setter with the rest of the brow products at the very top right here. I have so many false lashes that I barely use. I used to use them all the time, especially the Likely Makeup lashes. Like, look at these. These are bright red lashes. I also have purples and I have the blues. I also have so many Colourpop lashes. So I have the Chica ones, I have the Queenie ones. I have individual lashes from Sephora that I never tried. God, I have so many lashes and I never use them. Alright, so I think that this is going to be it for the time being. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. So I put all my lipsticks in here. I also have all of my liners right here, all of my palettes that I reach for on a regular basis, all of my highlights, my bronzers and blushes, and then in here I have all of my Complexion products, and then all the palettes and more niche products are down here. But yeah, I wasn't even able to put in my brushes, like, but yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. That's pretty much it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. You can also subscribe to my channel. I put up new videos every single Mondays, so subscribe so that you don't miss any of the Makeup Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe and I'll see you in the next one.